Yo, so it's a brand new week, which means that there's a bunch of new money methods to try out, so let's jump right into it in GTA Online. For our very first money method, we have the Cluck and Bell farm raid. Now this is perfect for beginners because you don't need anything in order to start it up. All you need to do is look for this V on your map and head over to it, and it's going to be at the Vespucci police station. Now once you get there, you want to walk into the yellow circle here and press right on your D-pad to get started. For those of you who have never done the Cluck and Bell raid before, it's sort of like a heist. You have 5 setup missions that at first don't pay you anything, but then you do the finale and get paid a pretty fat amount of money. Trust me, it's worth it in the end. Now the entirety of these missions are all really straightforward, to be honest, and I know I'm obviously not a beginner, you can tell just by looking at my level, but I find them really easy to do, so I imagine it shouldn't be too hard for someone just starting out. Like for the setups, you'll be doing stuff like stealing money from some money laundering businesses, stealing a train to use for the heist, grabbing weapons, gear, and even a getaway vehicle, just stuff like that. It might sound like a lot and it might even sound difficult, but trust me, it's really not. What you should do, especially if you're a beginner, is stock up on snacks and body armor before starting these missions up. There's going to be a lot of enemies you got to take out, especially during the actual finale mission, so you want to make sure that you're well prepared for that. And speaking of the finale, your main goal here is to break into the Cluck and Bell factory and steal some coke as well as some cash. And then once you're done with that and you're outside of the factory, you've got to take the getaway vehicle and drive it all the way back to Vincent's lockup back in Los Santos. Again, not too difficult as long as you've got snacks and body armor. Like I said, you don't want to be dying and have to restart it. But yeah, so for completing this heist, you're going to make $500,000. Now the reason why you want to do it this week in particular is because you're going to get an extra cash bonus on top of that 500k. You're supposed to make an extra $250,000 on top of that for a grand total of $750,000. But I gotta be honest with you guys, I was not paid that shit. I'm assuming you're supposed to get it right after finishing up the heist. Like once you load back into free mode, you should see the money show up in your bank account. For our second money method, we have the running back remix adversary mode. This week, this one's paying out double money and double RP, so that's pretty dope. In order to start them up, you're going to want to press start, go to online, jobs, play job, Rockstar created, adversary modes, and they'll be right here with the double money and RP ticker on them. Alright, so the way that this mode works is pretty similar to football in real life. You've got the runner who's in a compact car and their goal is to make it to the end zone, and then you've got the blockers who are either protecting their runner or trying to stop the enemy runner from making it to the end zone. If the runner is on the enemy team, then you've got to try your best to block that runner however you can. You can get in front of them, you can pin them against a wall with your teammates, however you got to do it, and then if the runner is on your own team, then you've got to stop the enemy blockers from doing that to your runner. This mode was a whole lot of fun, you guys, especially since I had a bunch of you in here from the Discord server. I set the match to 7 rounds to make the most money possible from it, and it was just hectic as hell. Like I have not been this stressed playing GTA Online in a fat ass minute. And then people started rage quitting too, which was just the cherry on top to my stress. Like me and my teammate were completely outnumbered in the end. It was a 2v3 and I did not think that we were gonna win this, but somehow we still took the dub, and for doing so we made a little over $250,000. For our third money method, we have the standard time trial. This week you can find it up here near Mount Chiliad. Once again, another great money method for beginners because all you need is a vehicle. I'm gonna highly recommend a motorcycle, and if you're on a budget, get the Baddie 801. You can buy it off of Southern San Andreas and it only costs you $15,000, not counting the upgrades. Anyway, you want to drive into the purple time trial area and press right on your D-pad to start up the time trial, and then open up your map and set a waypoint on this yellow dot all the way over here, and then close your map, bring up your phone, and quit the time trial from your phone. Now just do a U-turn so you're facing the highway and start it whenever you're ready. Okay guys, so compared to other time trials in GTA Online, this one is not that bad. Like yeah, you have to get to the other side of the map in 2.5 minutes, but there's no shortcuts for the most part. You're just gonna follow the purple path on your minimap all the way up until you get to the destination. It's really simple. Now a huge tip for motorcycles, make sure you wheelie whenever you possibly can. There's gonna be a lot of straightaways here, meaning more chances to wheelie, and the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because popping a wheelie makes you go faster on a motorcycle. So yeah, whenever you get a chance to pop a wheelie, make sure you do so. Other than that, just watch out for NPCs. I got smacked off my bike like 2 or 3 times because a car would turn into me, and trust me, if you fall off your bike, just restart the time trial. This one is really pressed for time, just like every other time trial in GTA Online is, so yeah. Anyway, once you get to the very end of this time trial, the only shortcut that I will recommend is going off the path and off of this hill that you'll see in just a second. Just be careful though, because I fell off my bike once I hit the ground on my very first attempt, and by the time I got back on my bike, it was too late and I had to go all the way back to the beginning, so yeah, just be careful with that. But anyway, for completing the part-time on this week's standard time trial, I made a very easy $102,000. For our fourth money method, we have the Autoshop Contracts. Now I would probably consider this the best way to make money this week. The reason why is because they're paying out double money and RP this week, so that's pretty freaking sweet. Now for those of you who have never done these before, you're gonna need to own an auto shop. Luckily for you guys, all auto shop properties as well as their upgrades are 30% off this week, and if you want to find out which location is the best one to buy, you're definitely gonna want to check out my auto shop money guide, which will be linked down below in the description. But anyway, once you're inside of your auto shop, you want to walk up the stairs and go up to the contract board in the back. These auto shop contracts are basically mini mini heist. There's 2 setup missions and then a finale, and you can complete them in about 30 minutes, so yeah. Now, if you see it on your contract board, you're gonna wanna do the Union Depository Contract. It pays out the most out of all the other contracts. If you don't see it on your board, there's actually a way to reset the contract board. Once again, check out my Autoshop guide. It's linked down below in the description, and I show you guys exactly how to reset it. So anyway, for the Union Depository Contract, the goal here is to rob the Union Depository itself. You're gonna be snatching some gold from inside the vault. The setups for it are gonna have you steal a security car for the contract so you can just blend in as a security guard, and then you're also gonna help blackmail the bank manager into giving you the vault code so you can get inside the vault. Just like with the Cluck and Bell raid we went over earlier, you're not gonna make much money for completing these setups, but you'll get a big ass payout after completing the actual finale. And speaking of the finale, you're gonna get inside that vault, steal as much gold as you possibly can, and then you gotta fight your way over to where you left your getaway vehicle. And then you're just escaping the cops and delivering the gold to the client. I'm just briefly going over for you guys. These Autoshop contracts aren't really that difficult. They're pretty straightforward, so I doubt that you're gonna struggle with these. But anyway, for completing the Union Depository Contract right now while it's on double money, you're gonna make $540,000. For our 5th money method, we have hot ring races. This week, these are also paying out double money and double RP. To start them up, you're gonna wanna press start, go to online, jobs, play job, Rockstar created, stunt races, and then they'll be right there at the top. They're gonna, of course, have that double money and RP ticker on them as well. So these are pretty much just your standard stunt races. There's a whole bunch of really cool ones that you can try out with ramps, boosts, tubes, all the usual stuff. And luckily for me, I got put in a lobby with close to like 20 people. In case you guys don't know, the more people in a race, and of course the longer the race is, the more money that you'll end up making in the end. But yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with these, even though I was choking on the first few that I did. There was like 5 races in a row where I was up in the top 3, and then my dumbass would either spin myself out or get spun out by someone else. But yeah, I did pretty well in the last one that I did, which was the one that you guys are seeing on screen right now. It got pretty crazy, especially with people slipstreaming behind me and trying to spin my ass out. And then right at the end, we were almost neck and neck with each other. But despite that, I ended up coming in at 3rd place, and for doing so, I made a very nice $42,000. Not as nice as the guy who took 1st place. He got over $80,000, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. For our 6th money method, we have the HSW Time Trial. This week, you can find it up here on this hill in front of the court center. Now, this money method is only available to those of you on an Xbox Series X or S or a PlayStation 5. So if you're not on one of those consoles, then unfortunately, you will not be able to complete this one. Before starting up this time trial, you're gonna need to go down to the LS car meet and buy a membership for $50,000 if you don't already have one. And then you'll also need an HSW upgraded vehicle. I'm gonna recommend the Hikuchi Drag since it's the only HSW motorcycle in the game, and I prefer motorcycles for time trials, so yeah, this one's a no-brainer for me. Anyway, you're gonna set it up just like the standard time trial from earlier. Drive inside of the purple area and press right on your D-pad. Then you wanna open up your map and set a waypoint on this yellow dot up here. Then back out of your map, bring up your phone and quit the time trial. Now you just wanna make a U-turn so you're facing the opposite way and start it up when you're ready. Alright, so just like any other HSW time trial in this game, this one's easy as hell. There's no shortcuts that you have to take. You just wanna follow that purple path on your minimap all the way up towards the destination. And the same tips from earlier's time trial are gonna apply here as well. Watch out for those NPCs so you do not fall off your Hikuchi bike. At least if you fall off your bike on this one, you'll still be able to beat the part time, so that's pretty nice. And then instead of popping a wheelie to go faster, lean forward while you're on your bike. For the Hikuchi Drag, leaning forward makes you go faster than if you were to wheelie, so yeah, make sure you do that. But yeah, you guys, this right here is one of the easiest money methods in all of GTA Online, and for completing the part time on it, I made a super easy $253,000. For our final money method, we have the OG Apartment Heist. Since this is week 3 of the heist event, all 5 of the OG heists are paying out double money and double RP, making it a great week to try them out. And so there's 2 ways that you can do these heists. You either need to own an apartment in GTA Online to host one yourself, or you can join a random player's heist. That's what I ended up doing here because I was not trying to do a whole ass heist at 7 p.m. on a Thursday night. But anyway, I joined a random Humane Labs heist. I hadn't played it in years, honestly, so I was pretty surprised when I somehow remembered how to complete it. I was on the ground team with this other dude, and after jumping out of a Valkyrie, we had to break into the facility. Obviously, we had to clear a bunch of guards that were inside waiting for us, but it was pretty straightforward. We just had to find the lab, and once we made it in there and stole the data, we had to make our way to a tunnel and swim our way over to shore. I don't think I've ever swam this much in GTA Online, I'm gonna be honest. It was like 2 long ass minutes of swimming. But once we made it onto shore, we just had to use flares to signal for our team to come pick us back up in the Valkyrie, and that was pretty much it. We just had to fly over to the meeting points, and yeah, that was it. Anyway, I somehow managed to get platinum on this heist. Didn't even feel like I did that much, but for my 20% cut, I made $378,000. Now, while the OG heists are hella fun with your friends, you cannot beat making $500,000 in just 30 minutes with the Autoshop contracts. That's for sure the best way to make money this week. And the Autoshop overall is a really great business to have that can make you millions of dollars. So if that sounds interesting, then you're definitely going to want to click on the video on screen right now.